Well, welcome to Berkeley. It's so different time than usual for nuclear. I think this is a time of game-changing situation. And so nuclear would look totally differently probably a few years from now. But that's probably a very interesting time for you because you are going to change. So I think this is, I'm kind of in a kind of pessimistic mood, but even in that kind of situation, I see some very optimistic things. Okay, Professor Peterson was supposed to be giving this presentation. He's the department chair. He's currently joining a task force team for this Japanese situation. Like DOE formed a British petroleum accident in Gulf of Mexico a few months ago. And so he's helping this situation. So I'm going to give this presentation for him. So the Capstone project studies would involve a kind of realistic deployment scenario. And in the project, we are going to include the creation of system design, a business plan, and licensing approach for a realistic nuclear system. And in this time, you may already realize that how important the connection between the actual system design and the deployment in the society. So, and we are going to cover that aspect in this Capstone project. We are going to select a specific nuclear technology ranging from a reactor design, fuel cycle facility design, and waste facilities design, including geological disposal. And we are going to select a specific site for facility. The siting issue is a very important issue in any nuclear project. It can be an existing site or a greenfield site. And we are going to select specific applications, either electricity generation or process heat application, or desalination, fuel production, recycle, disposal. For example, desalination is of particular interest in some countries like Middle Eastern countries, Indonesia, Singapore. The electricity generation has been a very traditional application. Process heat is also an emerging interest, and in the next slide, I'm going to show some example that has been developed by Professor Peterson for several years in the past. This is an idea of so-called pebble bed modular reactor process heat application for ethylene production. The pebble bed reactor is a reactor based on the design of a very robust fuel made of uranium oxide coated by silicon carbide and pyrolytic carbon, and can generate the heat at a very high temperature, like 900 degrees C to 1,000 degrees C, so that we can utilize that process heat for chemical plant. And we have been developing this technology in this department for several years, together with the concept for the geological disposal for the spent fuel after the utilization of the fuel in this reactor. Okay, so the primary goal for the Capstone project are to learn about the nuclear system design and associated technologies, and learn about the nuclear system economics and the finance. In the past decade, actually 2 or 3 decades, especially after the 3 Mile Island accident, this economic and finance conditions are substantially changed. And we are going to develop a different system for the economics and the finance. And probably particularly after this Japanese situation, we may also need to consider the third point, nuclear system licensing framework. So we will be doing this Capstone project in evolving conditions and boundary conditions. But Nuclear Regulatory Commission has established quite an advanced framework for that, and so we will see we will use those frameworks in the Capstone project. The last point, international considerations, will be particularly important because we have been we are aware of international considerations, particularly for the aspect of nuclear materials proliferation for weapons or terrorist attack. But now we are aware that the safety issue is also a very important matter of international considerations. So we will include such an international considerations in this project. Our department has been maintaining very close collaborations with Asian countries such as Japan, South Korea, China, Singapore, Indonesia, India, and so on. So we will do project internationally for this point. With that, I will going to take questions. Yes.
For the other ones, it seems that those are done with a lot of industry, but for nuclear, it's definitely more difficult to. But would that be an aspect as well?
Even in this situation, nuclear also has a business connections, such as GE, Hitachi, and Toshiba. Although they are very much busy these days for that kind of situation. There are also several startup companies for new concept reactors. So we will we'll maintain this relationship for this Capstone project.
Can you repeat the question next time?
The question was what about industrial connections in the field of nuclear engineering, which seems a little bit different from other fields. Other questions? Okay.
Good. All right. Thank you.